Hello everyone, welcome to Python Algo Trading tutorial. Today I'm going to explain how to automate the trailing SL after placing SL order. So this is a video has been asked by most of the people, and here you go. Okay. So not only trailing SL, I created a new strategy here. They're calling short straddle. We are doing it in Bank Nifty. Okay. So before coming to this video, I request you watch the previous videos so that you will have better understanding of what I'm going to explain here. Okay. Okay. Before starting actual content, there's a disclaimer. First of all, this strategy I'm showing here is just for demonstration purpose, and I'm just explaining how to automate it through Algo in Python language. Please do not trade this strategy without any analysis from your side. Okay, because I have not backtested this strategy shown in this video, right? Yeah, let's go into the content. So what are the new things added in the code base? So first thing, I added get trailing SL method in base strategy class. By default, the base strategy class will return 0 value from this function because there is no implementation in base strategy class. And whatever the strategy deriving from base strategy can implement get trailing SL method if trailing SL is applicable for that strategy. If trailing SL is not applicable for that strategy, you do not need to implement this function. You do not need to override it inside your derived strategy class. Okay, and so that is in base strategy class. And what else I changed in trade manager class? In trade manager, I wrote a function check and update trail SL method. This function is being called every 30 seconds inside our regular for loop, which is called every 30 seconds. What it does, it will call for each strategy, for each trade, it will find the strategy instance and then it will call the get trailing SL method of that particular strategy instance. If that strategy gives non-zero value, okay, that means trailing SL is applicable for that trade. Then it will check what was the current stop loss and what is the new trail SL is given by the strategy. If the new trail SL is advanced than the current stop loss, then we'll modify the SL order, right? What is advanced here? In case of long trade, let's say your stop loss is 100 rupees currently, and if the new trailing SL is 101, so 101 is greater than 100, so that is advanced in this case. But in case of short trade, your current SL is at 100 and the new SL is below 100, that is let's say 99. So 99 is less than 100, so that is advanced in case of short trade, right? So advanced, it can be plus or minus based on your trade direction. Is a long trade or short trade, right? And the interaction between the strategy instant and trade manager. Okay, I already explained how the trade manager is calling get trail SL method of each trade by finding its own strategy instance. Correct? Then, and the beauty of this part is I am not going to implement any common trailing SL logic in trade manager, because we can have the trail SL logic separate for each strategy. So each strategy can have its own logic for calculating trail SL. Some strategy may trail based on some moving average, some strategy may trail based on fixed SL percentage, right? So in this video I am going to explain based on some fixed points movement happened from your entry. If because I am not going to use any historical candles data here. Generally what happens if you want to trail based on some indicators, you need the candle, historical candles, right? But so far I have not yet integrated that part in the current project. So far now we use some fixed points movement based SL, okay? And I told you to demonstrate the trailing SL, I create a new strategy, short straddle BNF. Okay. I'll explain what is this short straddle BNF here. So these are the strategy details. So the logic is nothing. Trade every day. So you are not going to override the can trade today functionality in your straddle BNF strategy clause. Okay, so that will be traded every day by default, and the strategy start time is 11 a.m. So at 11 a.m. what I'm going to do, getting the Bank Nifty future price and calculate the ATM strike price, which is nearest 100. In case of Nifty we take nearest 50, but in Bank Nifty we take nearest 100, right? Prepare immediate weekly option symbols, okay, immediate expiry option symbols for both C and P with the ATM strike price. We are not doing any plus 100 minus 100, nothing. We are just taking the ATM strike price and getting the CE and PE symbol of ATM strike price. Short both of them. Stop loss is 30% on each leg. There is no target in this trade, in this strategy. Trade LSL, square off at 2:30 p.m. That's it. Start at 11 a.m., square off at 2:30 p.m. Right? Then what is the trailing SL logic I'm going to implement in this is, the trade manager checks every 30 seconds and update the trail SL, right? So when the trade manager calls the strategy instance and get trail SL method, inside the get trail SL method, what I implemented, if the price moved by 5 points, for every 5 points movement in your trade direction, I am moving the trail SL by 5 points. Okay. If it does not move 5 points, I am not going to change the trail SL. Example, PE symbol, let's say you shorted 200 rupees. The initial stop loss is 30% of SL, which is 260. Okay. If the price move at least 5 points, that is from 200, if it moves to 195, correct? So then I am going to move 5 points in trail SL. Let's say 260 minus 5, that will be 255, right? Again, if the price moves in your direction 194, 193, we are not going to update anything. 192, no update. 190, yes. When the price reaches less than or equal to 190, so it moved another 5 points, right? Now move your SL by another 5 points. So what was your previous SL? 255. Now move the previous SL to 250. At present you are at 190. So similarly, when the price goes below 170, then your trail SL will be like this. You can just calculate, it's a simple math. So trail SL will become 230, right? So we'll see how I implemented that in the code. Okay. Yeah, first of all, I'm going to tell you the new class I created, short straddle BNF. So here we are deriving from the base strategy class, correct? So these are the common things which I already explained in the previous videos also. So product type MS, SL percentage 30, target no target. Start times I am keeping is 11 a.m. Start time is not applicable because we are going to place only market orders here. Square of timestamp we are going to square off at 14:30 to 30 p.m. Capital 1 lakh and max trades per tour we have only 2, that is 1 CE plus 1 PE of ATM strike. Is FNO true? Yes. Capital per set 1 lakh. If you configure capital 2 lakh here, this will trade in 2 lots. If you configure in 3 here, 3 lots, because 3 lakh by 1 lakh, that will become 3 lots. Okay, that calculation will be done in the base strategy class. And can trade today or not. Okay, you can remove this function completely. Okay, just for demonstration purpose I kept you. Here I am not doing anything, just return true. So every day this can be traded. Even if you don't write this function, by default the base strategy class has this as can trade today. It's true, by default it's true, right? So even if you don't write this function at all, it will be considered as true. And what is the process? Every 30 seconds the base strategy will, there is a separate thread running for each strategy, and that thread will call this process function. So what I'm going to, if the current timestamp is less than start timestamp, we are not going to do anything. So if the trades are already placed, okay, if the save lot trades are already greater than max trades per day, then we are just returning because we're not going to do anything, already placed. Okay, so I'll tell you here I did little changes. Earlier I had some trades created symbols array, so instead of that I modified the logic to have trades within each strategy. I'll tell you that logic later. So here the main logic is get the future symbol of Bank Nifty, prepare monthly expiry future symbol here, get the current quote of the future symbol, and then call get nearest strike price by giving the last traded price here, let's say 30,030, okay, and you pass 100 here. This is factor, okay, nearest 100 or nearest 50, what you want. In case of Nifty here we pass 50, but Here it's Bank Nifty, that's why I passed 100. So we'll get ATM strike price, let's say 30,040. In that case, we'll get 30,000 as ATM strike, right? So then you get the prepare weekly option symbol, Bank Nifty, ATM strike C, and Bank Nifty, ATM strike P. You will get the both C and P symbol of immediate weekly expiry, right? Then call generate trades function here by passing ATM C symbol and ATM P symbol. So we'll get the code of both of the symbol, and we'll pass that last traded price inside this generate trade function. Okay, and we also pass the number of lots here. The number will be calculated as self calculates lots per trade here. Okay, you can check the base strategy logic inside this calculate lots per trade. Okay, how it's calculating. And okay, when generate trade is called, this is normal again. Strategy name options true is options true. Direction start because it's option selling only. Product type here, whatever we configured in the strategy, that is MIS. Place market order true. Request entry, what is the last traded price we get. Of course, we are going to place a market order, but the requested entry we are assigning to the value of last traded price. Okay, timestamp strategy is timestamp, and here get instrument data by symbol. You'll get all the instrument details, and you'll dynamically calculate what is the lot size. Okay, the lot size into number of lots will get trade quantity, and calculate the stop loss round to NSE price, and here request entry plus request entry SL percentage. Here SL percentage configured above as 30%. Okay, you can see here the 30%, right? And if you go down, and the target, we don't have any target for this trade, and trade square of timestamp we configure as 230 above, and just hand over this trade to trade manager, and trade manager will handle the trade. Okay, and if you look at the should place trade function, call the base class functionality. If it is return false, then it's false. Otherwise, we don't have any specific logic here, no condition. As soon as at 11 am ticks, once the trade gets created here, just place the trade, return true. That's it. No special condition here. And this is the trailing SL logic error. Before this, I will explain you what I have added. Okay, in the base strategy class, this is the new function I added here. Get trailing SL, correct? Right? So the base strategy class doesn't have any implementation for get trailing SL. It will always return 0. So the return 0 means the trailing SL is not applicable for this strategy, simply. So if you are not overriding this function in any of the strategy, let's say BNF ORB option selling here sample strategy, that means the trailing SL is not applicable for any of this strategy. At present, I am going to implement only in this class, that is get trailing SL here. Self will get the trade here. Okay, there's input param is trade object. If trade pass in none, return 0, that is in trailing SL not applicable. If trade entry is 0, okay, because see whatever you place the trade, right, after 30 seconds the trade entry will get updated, right? So before that 30 seconds, before fetching the order details from the broker, and before updating the internal details of the algo trades orders, so this trade entry can be 0 there, right? So in case of if the get trailing SL called immediately, I mean without updating the trade entry, then we are not going to calculate the trailing SL, right, in this case. So there is return 0. Okay, in this case no trail SL. And here get last traded price by passing the trading symbol. I added one small function here inside trade manager. Get last traded price, it will give you the last traded price of the symbol, whatever the symbol you pass here. In case this can be PE or C in our case. And if the last traded price is 0, let's due to any reason, if you don't get the last traded price, we are not going to calculate the trail SL, just return 0. Okay, and if all these conditions doesn't satisfy, and we are here now, trail SL assigned to 0 by default. I'm calculating what is the profit point so far. Let's say our trade got entered at 200, okay, minus last traded price. If the last traded price, let's say 189, okay, that is less than 190. So trade entered 200 minus 189 is 11, correct? If the profit points greater than or equal to 5, then only we are going to trail. It should move at least 5 points, otherwise we are not going to trail. If otherwise, what will happen? Just we return 0 here. Okay. If profit points greater than or equal to 5, so what I'm going to do? I'm calculating the factor. So how many number of times the delta has moved? The delta of 5 points moved. So that is nothing but the total profit points so far. Let's say 11 points when you are at 189 price. So 11 by 5, how much you will get? 2, right? We are converting into integer here. Of course, you will get the floating point value here, but we are interested only in integer part. We ignore the decimal, I mean we ignore the remainder part. So you will get 2 here. Suppose if it is at 170, assume entry 200 minus 170 is a 30. 30 minus divided by 5, you will get 6. So the factor is 6, right? So then what is your trail SL round to value price? So what I'm doing is you have to calculate the trail SL from the initial stop loss. Okay, you should be careful that you don't keep stop loss here. Okay, in some cases it may be applicable, but in this strategy we are calculating from initial stop loss minus factor into 5. Factor we got, let's say 6 in this case, when the trade is when the trade current market price is at 170. So 6 into 5, that is 30. So initial stop loss was at 260, correct? 260 minus 30. So the new stop loss will become 230. So you will return 230 from here. So where exactly this is being used in trade manager class? Let's go to trade manager class. Okay, I am going searching here. Okay, this is here trading. So how, let's see the flow from where we exactly call this. We call this here, right? So what is this? So track SL order, right? Let's go to one level up. So where exactly? Here this is the parent function. So here is a while loop, right? We are calling this inside a while loop every 30 seconds. That is, you fetch all the trade details from the broker and update all internal details of the algo. Okay, then we'll call this track and update all trades, correct? So when you call this function all trades, so for each trade what we are going to do is we are going to call entry order, track SL order, track target order, because this is trailing SL which is related to SL order, right? So I wrote the functionality inside track SL order. So if you go to track SL order, so if you come here, so either the SL order is complete, here SL hit, right? Or SL order cancelled due to whatever reason. If target hit, it is cancelled, or you cancel the SL order outside of algo. If none of these cases satisfy, then the SL order is still active. Then what, in this case what I am doing, I am calling this check and update trail SL. Okay, that function I am calling, that is nothing but here. Just pause the trade object here. So here trail the SL if applicable for the trade. So what we have to do? First we have to get the strategy instant. Okay, from which strategy actually this trade got placed. So call this trade minus strategy instance map. Pause the trade strategy name, you will get the strategy instant. If you don't get any strategy instant due to whatever reason, just return. You are not going to do anything, correct? And now when you get the strategy instant, get trailing SL by passing this trade. Okay, here I am calling the get trailing SL method. So that means this will be called here, and as per the logic we can get the trail SL, right? If that, okay, you got some new trail SL, it can be 0 or it can be some positive value. So when this new trail SL value is greater than 0, then only we are going to update the trail SL. That because other strategies may not have the trail SL functionality by default. When you call this get trail SL method, the base class method will be called, that returns 0, right, ideally. So the trail SL is not applicable for those strategies. So wherever it is applicable, the derived strategy overridden functionality will be called, and you will get some value here. So if that value is greater than 0, right, check if the trade direction is long. If you are a long trade, so what should happen? The new trail SL should be greater than the current stop loss, right? That's it. Else if the trade direction is short, the new trail SL should be less than the current stop loss. Then only you are going to update the trail SL. So then I am marking this update SL equal true, initially it false. So after this condition, if you see, if update SL equal to true, right, then we have to modify the order. So what we are going to do exactly? So far I have not used this order modify params, right? Here I already written in the previous session. This is how. So order modify params will have new price, new trigger price, new quantity, new order type, right? So which price you are going to modify, right? In this case we are interested in only modifying this value, that's it. We don't care about other values. So we are only going to change the trigger price here. Okay. So the new trigger price I am assigning as new trail SL value, whatever I got from this particular strategy, get trailing SL method. Okay, now I pass this order modify params to where trade manager get order manager. This can be whatever the order manager based on the configuration, either 0 the 5 years whatever, but currently we support only 0 the, and you call the modify order function. Okay, you pass the, what you pass here, you pass the order, which order it is SL order, trade order SL order, you pass it, and then you pass the order modify params object. So this is nothing but this one. So we set the new trigger price and we pass that object here. This function will update the trailing SL in your on your broker. It will call the broker API to modify the order, SL order. Okay. So I just saved here old SL. What is the old SL? Trader stop loss. So after this gets successful, you will be here trailing SL. So successfully modify stop loss from, let's say, this name, this value to this value for this trade. So that is old value to new value for this trade. Correct. So after updating trailing SL in your broker terminal, so make sure you have to update your object value also here, trade dot stop loss to be updated. This is very important. If you forget this, next time also you will get the same value, right? Then you only one time it will be updated. Next time it won't be updated, right? So you update the trade dot stop loss to the new value, new trail SL. Okay. But there is one thing, trade dot initial stop loss. That initial stop loss will always be same at the same position. It will be at 260 only in our example. But this trade stop loss can keep on changing as and when you update the trail SL, right? When you get the new trail SL. So due to whatever reason, if the modify order fails, you will get exception and will just print the error here. Okay, you need to check what is the error and you fix accordingly and again do it. So this is how it works. That's it. And we have prints and all. Okay, if I see you the PR pull request, what are the changes I did? Okay, there is one thing I added a new. Okay, short straddle BNF in algo. I'm taking this instance here. Okay, starting this strategy in a separate thread. I commented all other all other strategies. I'm going to run only this strategy. That's why I commented everything. So when you are here, start strategy BN, and you can start the strategy. So the logic I changed here. Okay, in base strategy, let me tell you. Where is the base strategy? Yeah. I'm sorry. Sample strategy, option selling. Yeah, sorry, it's here only. So in base strategy earlier we had this trades created symbols, right? So I removed this completely. So that is creating a little bit confusion. So I handled it in a different way. Inside the constructor, even when you restart the application, right? First, what we do, we'll get all the trades of this particular strategy. Okay, just pause the strategy name here. The state manager will give you all the trades of this strategy, whether active, created, completed, cancelled, whatever. So we'll get all the trades and storing inside it trades. Okay, so that is on restart. So in normal case, what will happen? Add one function here, add trade to list. This will be called by the trade manager whenever you create a new trade and hand over the trade to trade manager. So here what we are doing, we just adding that new trade to self.traders append trade. That's it. Okay, so here the get code some small changes here, and the get trailing SL, this is 0. So that is the only thing added. And if you go to every existing strategy, so instead of this trade self.trades created symbol, I modified this code to length of self. If the current length of trades already greater than or equal max trades per day, so then return. You are not going to create any new trades. Okay, this is the way I handle. Similarly, I added logic here as well. Sample strategy also here, length of trades greater than max trade. So don't do anything because you already created the trades, generated the trades. So that is that's the logic. Okay. So another thing, am I missing something? Yeah, another important point here is I have added one new exit reason here. Earlier we had only these reasons in trade exit reason, SL hit, target hit, square of SL cancel. I added this new one, trail SL hit equal trail SL hit. What happens, right? So when you are going to set a trade to complete, after checking if the trail SL is hit, if the trade SL is hit, correct? So if you come here, so this is exit rate. Whenever this SL order status is complete, that means SL order executed, that means SL hit. So the SL hit can be the initial SL or it can be the trail SL, right? So I am interested in updating the proper reason here. If the initial stop loss is equal to the trade stop loss, that means there is no trail SL happened actually. So then we just assign the trade exit reason SL hit only. Otherwise, if stop loss is different than initial stop loss, that means you have actually trailed the SL. So after trailing the SL, if the order state is complete, the SL order state is complete, then we are taking the trade exit reason trail SL hit. So I'm just assigning this value here to exit reason. I'm passing this exit reason here so that you'll know when the trade is completed. Okay, what is the exact reason? If it is just SL hit reason or if it is trailing SL hit reason. Okay, that's how it is. Okay, that's it in this presentation, and I will create a separate video on showing this trail SL logic in live. Okay, thanks for the day. Thank you.